light. Hold on. See if we can get this. Still got the light up on me. All right. Well, let me know if you guys can hear me. You guys get in here. Hopefully you can hear my headset. Anybody there? Nope, nobody even there. I'll wait for some people to get in. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, oh well. I'm gonna give my reaction. It is what it is. Wait a little longer. Trying to hope somebody comes in so they can let me know if they hear me or not. I'll make this video for no reason. Make this video and find out nobody can hear me. Let me see. We got one person in here. All right, let me know if you can hear me good, or does it sound like you can hear me through the Bluetooth, or does it sound like you can hear me through the phone? Let me know. Do I sound far away, like you hear me through the microphone of the phone, or do I sound close, like you're hearing me through the Bluetooth? Someone let me know, please. Not gonna make a difference when I video anyways, but this way I can have a little bit of so can you hear me? Can you hear me? Again, let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me through the Bluetooth, like I sound like I'm close, or if you hear me through the phone mic, like I'm far away. Are you hearing me through the Bluetooth or the phone? Let me know, let me know, let me know. Got my steaks. Got 2 of them, baby. Steaks ready to get towed up. Anyways, let's go ahead and do this video. I just got out the gym. Let's go ahead and make this video. So, free agency just happened, or it's not over. It started today. It was open today. Started today, and biggest news in free agency, period. Not even just Bucks big news, but just in free agency, pretty much. Mike Evans is not returning. He signed with the 49ers. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Signed with the 49ers. Never thought I'd see the day. This is like, no lie, this is like Kobe leaving the Lakers. Like, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Some people feel like Jason Light saw the writing on the wall. That's why we got Ibuka. I don't agree with that. I do think, however, that us getting Ibuka did have something to do with it. I don't think we got Ibuka because we thought he was leaving, but I do think because we got Ibuka, I do think that is a factor of why Mike Evans left. I believe Mike Evans left because there wasn't enough ball to go around. Um, I have some more in-depth theories, but I believe that's why he left because too many receivers. Ibuka, Chris, and him, and I mean, I know they're gonna get Tez Johnson. Will it execute? Will we be able to execute it? I don't know, but I do know this new OC is gonna try to get Tez Johnson in there as well because he's our speedster that we just haven't been able to utilize, and that's because of Baker. But I do believe that's why Mike chose to leave. I think Mike was like being selfish. He was playing the selfish card, which is completely fine. He deserves it. You know what I'm saying? He deserves to be selfish. He deserves to pat his stats, and I think that's what he's going for. I think he's going to pat his stats and try to be as dominant as he can and get as many yards as he can, and pat his resume as much as he can possibly, and he deserves it. He has all the right to do that. I don't blame him. Now, I did say this feels like, and I wanted to talk about this because I actually thought about this before he even signed with the 49ers, because everyone was saying that, this year it feels different because, every year, is he going to leave? Is he going to leave? And everybody was saying this year's different. This year's different. This year's a little bit different. So it made me think a little bit. And even though I still didn't think he was leaving, I thought about this and I said this feels like Kobe leaving the Lakers. And it's funny because if his favorite player was Kobe, I can almost guarantee he wouldn't have left. But his favorite player is not Kobe. His favorite player is Dwayne Wade, but he believes the GOAT is LeBron James. He believes the GOAT is LeBron James. And when LeBron James is your GOAT, you know what I'm saying? When LeBron James is your GOAT, you don't really have a problem with leaving the franchise, you know what I'm saying? And going to be a little bit selfish at the end of your career. And like I said, he definitely deserved it. It's okay that he's a little selfish right now. I mean, he deserves it more than LeBron ever deserve to do what LeBron did. You know what I'm saying? Mike Evans definitely deserves. Same with Kobe, right? If Kobe was to have left those last days, I mean, he gave us 5 championships, and Kobe, you're always gonna be a Laker. You just do you. You can be selfish, but Kobe never did that. But and obviously Mike didn't give us 5 championships, but 1 championship for let's be real. Let's keep it 1,000. 1 championship for Tampa Bay is like 5 championships for the Los Angeles Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, long story short, he deserves to go. I'm not mad at him for wanting to go with the 49ers, but I do think that us getting Ibuka had a small part of it. I think it played a decent part of it. Not enough balls to go around, but I don't think that was the only thing, because I do think there is a world where Mike Evans is okay with having Ibuka and having Chris Godwin there. I do think there is a world that he's okay with that and still stays, and there is enough ball to go around. Unfortunately, that's not the case with us, and this brings me to 2 things, because there are, as much as it hurts and it pains me that Mike Evans is gone, and he's not, part of the Bucks anymore, which is crazy to think. There are 2 silver linings about this situation. There are 2 things that are good that come out of it. One possibly. Well, both of them are possible, actually. But one is more than likely to be possible. The other one is a long shot, right? The first one that is a long shot that could be good about Mike Evans leaving is this might actually give us an opportunity to go get Trey Hendrickson. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to get Trey. They think it'll be a waste of money, and it might be. It might be. I'm not saying he's the end all to. He's our answer to our pass rush, or he's gonna fix it. I know he's gonna fix it. I don't know. He might not ever be the same again. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. But it's worth taking a chance. We need to fix our pass rush, and it's worth taking a chance on him. So, 1 second. So yeah, it's worth taking a chance on him, and because us not getting Mike back, you know, we might have a chance to go get him. It is what it is. We'll see if it happens or not. But that is one possible. That's one little silver lining that could be a good thing of us not bringing back Mike Evans. But the number one thing that silver lining that I could take from this like, okay, well, at least this, right? At least this. This is something. Now again, it's not 100% that it's going to happen, right? But the number one thing for me that makes me feel okay and like, okay, now this can happen. Baker cannot, and this goes with why the other part of why I believe Mike Evans left the Buccaneers. Baker cannot lean on Mike Evans anymore, right? Now, again, I said a little bit a while ago that there is a world where Mike Evans stays with the Bucs and he's okay with Ibuka being there and Chris Godwin being there and Tez Johnson and all these wide receivers, and he's still okay with being with the Bucs. There is a world where he's okay. But that world is in a universe where we have a different quarterback. That world is in a universe where we have a quarterback that can actually be a real quarterback, right? We have Baker Mayfield, and I've said for a long time that Baker, just like Tom Brady, is towards the end of his career, obviously, right? Tom Brady, just like Baker Mayfield, which is why Tom Brady and Baker Mayfield had the same numbers at the end of Tom Brady and the beginning of Baker Mayfield being with us, they leaned on Mike Evans. They leaned on Mike Evans heavily. Now, the league has figured that out, and I believe that Mike Evans knows that. I believe that Mike Evans knows the league has figured Baker out. They figured out the routes he likes to go to. They figured out how he likes to go through his progression. Something that I believe that the NFL has figured out Baker. And I think that Mike understands that it's going to be tough for this offense next year. Now, even if Mike was here, there's a chance our offense can be what our offense normally is. But there's also a chance our offense can be what our offense was at the end of the year last year, which is not very good, struggling to produce, struggling to produce. And Mike might have felt like there's a chance that could happen because it seems like they figured out Baker because Baker was struggling. He was struggling. So I say all that to say this. The one silver lining that I have about this situation that I'm happy about at least is, 1 second. My biggest worry about this franchise going forward was giving Baker Mayfield an extension, a real franchise extension. That was my biggest worry because I know that Mike's not here for much longer. He might have 2-3 more years in him, but that's holding on to inevitability, right? Well, it's eventually we're going to have to find our real quarterback. And I didn't want to give Baker a big contract. I didn't want Baker to get a big contract off of the back of Mike Evans, period. Now, if Baker plays, because again, he didn't have such a good year last year. He had an MVP season in the beginning of the first half, but then the second half of the season, he didn't have such a good year. And Now, without Mike Evans, without him able to go off of the back of Mike Evans, which again, not saying that he would have been able to if Mike Evans was here. Maybe if Mike Evans was here, he still would have struggled. But maybe he wouldn't have. Maybe they would have figured out how to get Mike Evans open again, and he just would have been able to play quarterback by just throwing it to Mike Evans again. And I don't want a quarterback that just throws to Mike Evans because Mike Evans figured out how to get open, or because the OC figured out how to get Mike Evans open all the time because, the NFL, right? Because quarterbacks that are like that, right? Tua. I said this about Tua. I said this about Baker. Quarterbacks that are like that it seems like they just got a little trick, which is, hey, just find Tyreek. He's going to get open. Hey, just find Mike Evans. He's going to get open. Quarterbacks that do that, okay, yeah, they can win games and get you into the playoffs because there's enough bad teams that can't figure out how to stop it. But once you get into the playoffs, that's stopping. You're going to run into a team that's just going to stop it, and all of a sudden, you're going to struggle. Last year, it happened with a lot of teams before we even got into the playoffs, which is why we didn't even get into the playoffs. So I don't want a quarterback that's going to just sit there and focus on one weapon. I don't want that. Now, again, now that Mike is not there, this is going to force Baker to be a quarterback and find everybody. Find Chris, find Ibuka, find Tez. So now what I'm saying is, if Baker Mayfield is able to play good enough to warrant a big contract now, then he's good enough to be our quarterback. That's what I'm saying. If Baker is good enough, to get a big contract now with no Mike Evans there, then I'll accept it. And Baker is good enough to be our franchise quarterback, or good enough to get a contract to where we can move on with Baker, right? We move on with Baker, move forward with Baker. Now, I said this is most likely what's going to happen, right? We'll either know, okay, Baker, you can't do it without Mike, so we move on from Baker, or, okay, Baker, you can do it without Mike, and the future of other wide receivers coming in, it won't be a problem. They don't have to be Mike Evans' level of wide receiver for Baker to have success in the league with us, right? But it's still a chance, right? There's still a chance, which I hope not, because this would be bad on our part. There's still a chance that Baker doesn't have the greatest season, and it's a small chance, but there's still a chance that Baker doesn't have such a great season again, and we still move forward with Baker. Now, I hope that doesn't happen. That would be on Jason Light's part, or Todd Bowles, lobbying for Baker. No, he's our guy, he's our guy, he's our guy. Either way, if that happens, that's on them. That's on them. If Baker shows us who Baker is this year, and we still go forward with him and give him a contract, that's on us. That's on the Bucks. And whatever happens, you can't say nothing about it, because Baker showed you twice now. It'll be 2 seasons in a row that Baker shows you who he is, and we still went ahead and gave him a contract. So, yeah. 1 second. One second. Let me finish this. One second, let me get this rice ready. And then I'm going to read your guys' comments because that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I'll read your guys' comments right now. Let me just get this rice going. Oh man, I'm so hungry. All right, come on. One second. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Let's go to the top. Rashad West in the building. What up, man? It's been a while, huh? Yes. Sad Evans gone. Bowles and Light must go. I mean, I don't know about that. Henderson coming to Florida to retire. I would love that. Call tank season throwaway. No, it's definitely not a tank season. If we get top 5 pick in 27 draft, that would be a QB pick. Oh yeah, for sure. If we're down top 5, then it's obvious we need to pick a quarterback. Yeah, for sure. Need to fix the run game. I'm not worried about the run game. Why happy lost Evans? I'm not happy we lost Evans. I'm just saying there's a silver lining to it. RTP, are we tanking this year? No, we're not tanking. Make RTP. Bucks keep Bowles over Evans. Sad left because what happened 3 and 28. That's when decided to. No, that's not. All these fan narratives, right? These fan narratives keep saying these things that are not true. No, it's not. Evans did not leave because of Bowles, and Bowles has nothing to do with it. Evans did not leave because of Bowles. Evans left because he wanted the ball more. That's why Evans left. He wanted the ball more. He wants to pad his stats. He wants to pad his stats, and he wants to go, go big for his resume, which again, I have no problem with it. But that's how I feel about that situation. That's how I feel about that situation. Unfortunately, man, I can't believe it, but Mike Evans is gone. And those are the silver linings for Mike Evans being out of here. We got a few things that we can look forward to. Not much. But any last questions? I see 3 people are still here. Any last questions before I get out of here? Any last questions? Green juice. Anybody got any last questions before I get out of here? Let's talk about real quick the free agency. I'm glad we picked up homeboy, that linebacker from the Lions. I'm glad we did that. I'd love to pick up some. I really wanted Devin Bush, bro. I really wanted Devin Bush very bad, but that wasn't in the cards, I guess. But I'm glad we picked up some linebacker, right? Something, which he might not be the greatest, but I'm pretty sure he's not bad either, because he was on the Lions for a while, and the Lions weren't like trash at linebacker. So that's not bad. Too bad. Could we do more? I would love to do more at linebacker, right? So it is what it is. And hold on, I hate when this dog barks like that. Also, yeah, the running back from Pitt, I think that was a good pickup too. Shh. Anyways. I don't see no other questions. As far as free agency, obviously Mike Evans leaving sucks. But besides that, I think we're doing okay free agency wise. There, I would love to get Trey. Um, I would love to get Trey. We brought back K Dotton. I'm glad we brought back K Dotton. I would love to get Trey, and I would love to pick up another inside linebacker. If Levante doesn't come back, that would kind of be sad. And I say kind of because I'm not in a place where I'm like, please come back, we need you. Because I love Levante, don't get me wrong, but he definitely was a casualty as well last year. We need to upgrade in linebacker, and I can't believe I'm saying that. I wouldn't be mad if Levante came back, but we need to reassure. In fact, I would love for, even if Levante started, I would love for Levante to come back, but we drafted a young linebacker. We have Alonzo and, or two other linebackers, and we still draft a linebacker, and Levante's there helping out, teaching everybody how to play in that defense. So I wouldn't mind that either. But I'm not a big like, please, Levante, come back, please. But I would like him to come back again to be the teacher, right? Whether he starts or whether he's backup, I really don't care. But I would like that. But if he doesn't come back, guys, which even if he does come back, I think if he does come back, I think this might be my last season covering the Bucks. I think this is it, man. I told everybody, I've been telling you guys that I'm kind of just waiting for the last two guys that I started my, YouTube career, whatever you want to call it, which is Levante and Gerald McCoy and Mike Evans. Those were the core guys that I pretty much started my YouTube journey with. And it's all coming to a close. Evans is gone with the Niners, and Levante, I don't know if he's coming back or not. So if he doesn't come back, this is probably my last year. I have to do one more year with this Baker situation to find out how this Baker situation ends up. Do we give him a contract or not? And I have to comment on this season of how things are going. But this might be my last year if Levante doesn't come back. So that's it. No more questions. No, I definitely wouldn't want Cameron Jordan. I don't care how cheap he is. I don't care if he plays for free. I don't want Cameron Jordan over here. And that's not because I hate him, because he's a saint. I just don't think he got anything left anyways. Why take away reps from youngsters? There's no point. So, yeah. Yeah, anyways. So that's it. I don't think I got any more questions. I said everything I wanted to say on it. We'll see how the rest of the free agency plays out, man. I might come back later, depending on what we sign or what happens. If not, then, you'll probably see me after the draft or during the draft, whatever. One of the two. All right, I'll see you guys. Be safe.